You ever seen that song on YouTube? Oh blah dee, oh blah da, life goes on, la 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 millennials. Let's see if I can find it. Millennial song. Just, if you haven't seen this, you need to see this. Just FYI, here you go. So the name of the song is You Gotta Love Millennials. Although I just searched for millennial song on YouTube and it came right up. Speaking of millennials, which, you might have guessed what I want to talk about today. Yes, Zero Hedge. This isn't fake. This is real. Millennials resort to cyberbegging to finance down payment. We imagine there are millions of American millennials who have made it through college, found a job, got married, and would like to take their next crucial step on the way to adulthood. Buying a house. There's only one problem. Thanks to stagnant wages and onerous student loan debt, factors that have helped jack up spending even as incomes are languishing, most millennials don't have any money. Indeed, for the first time ever, millennials with student debt now have a negative net worth. Did you catch that? For the first time ever, millennials with student debt now have a negative net worth. You're worth, bro, that's like, you could really cut someone down. Bro, you ain't even worth zero. You ain't even worth nothing. You're worth negative, son. While most people, or most Americans, borrow when buying their homes, millennials can't even afford the down payment that lenders typically require so that their customers have some, skin in the game. Yet, while most lenders view this fact as a risk, borrowers typically need to put up to 20% of the price. A growing number, 20%? How about 10% or less these days? A growing number of enterprising lenders see these broke borrowers as an opportunity. The latest example of this ill-advised trend was highlighted by the Wall Street Journal on Friday, with the absurdity inadvertently laid bare by the Wall Street Journal's social media team. As Wall Street Journal explains, enabling millennials to buy homes they can't afford risks reigniting a rerun of the housing crisis, an outcome made more likely by the fact that home prices have already surpassed their excesses from the pre-crisis era. Remember that? Here it is. 2005, 6, 7, 2008. Oh no. Boom, we're back. Everything must be fine and peachy. I'm sure everybody got a massive raise to pay for all these expenses. Mainly when I say expenses, everything related to your freaking house. Yeah. The phenomenon has been exacerbated by a shortage of homes that has persisted for years. Shortage of homes. Shortage of homes. Zillow.com. Hell, let's go to Tampa, Florida. Shortage of homes. I am not seeing a shortage of homes for sale. Let's just keep going all over the place. This is kind of getting out in the country. So we're gonna go back into where the city is. This is Brandon area, Tampa. Tampa's quite big. I mean, some of this stuff I read like, what? Hold on a second. It's been exacerbated by a shortage of homes. I'm not buying that part of this, but let's continue. But what's even more alarming than the fact that lenders are out there chasing this business, despite the fact that nearly 40% of renters ages 25 to 34 said they have nothing every month for a down payment. They save nothing every month for down payment. are the schemes that some lenders have devised to help their borrowers fund their down payments. To which CMG Financial created Home Fund Me, a service it launched last year. As its name would imply, Home Fund Me helps would-be borrowers beg for cash from their friends and family by sending passive-aggressive emails. What? I get those without people asking for money. It's called trolls. Reese and Kyle Rademacher? Isn't that the Joe Dirt's last name? That's why mom and dad named you Rademacher. What? Huh? Rademacher. That's it. Well, Reese and Kyle Rademacher weren't sure how they would afford a down payment to buy a home until their real estate agent mentioned an offbeat idea. Crowdfund the money from friends and family. Miss Rademacher, 28-year-old construction technician, set up an online profile with a program called Home Fund Me to solicit donations. Her parents and a few others responded, and in March, the Rademachers closed on a $320,000 home in Wyoming. Cheyenne, Wyoming, it looks like. I'm pronouncing that right. Home Fund Me, a service launched by lender CMG Financial last year, is among a growing suite of services that help borrowers cobble together the funds to buy homes. Listen, don't want to be that elephant in the room, but I'm going to have to be. If they can't save anything towards a down payment, what happens when anything goes wrong? Oh, yeah, your escrow account, it's going to go negative. We need you to add more to that account. You know, got your mortgage, your property taxes, your insurance, all combined, escrowed. And, yeah, the rates are going up. Oh, your property tax just went up, too. If they can't save anything, that means anything that addition that they did not expect from the exact moment they found out what the price it would be for their monthly payment, they're screwed. Interesting. These companies, startups, and established players in the housing market alike say they're offering options for borrowers who have good credit and income but are struggling to save. Again, if you can't save at all, you're living paycheck to paycheck. That's how that works. And my question is, okay, well, if they're not even in a house yet, maybe they're renting, or maybe they're, maybe that's the deal. They're renting, so therefore they're going to go get a house and pay the same kind of money that they're renting. But again, the point is, you have nothing saved over for a rainy day, and you just bought the house, and you could be making that payment for the next 30 years. About 400 borrowers have used Home Fund Me to help buy homes since the program launched in October. On average, they raise about $2,500, although CMG also can kick in matching grants. And home borrowers have some of their own money saved as well. Well, some of them. Chief Marketing Officer Paul Akinmid said, friends and family can also make their gifts conditional, meaning borrowers won't get the money unless they actually purchase the home. Ms. Rademacher said she felt uncomfortable at first asking for help through Home Fund Me, but the Rademachers' budget was tight after paying for their wedding. Oh, gotta have a wedding. And a credit union had already denied their mortgage application because they didn't have enough in savings. Whenever I emailed people the link, let me just stop. Honey, we're getting married. You know where me and my wife got married? Serious, true story. At my sister's house. A friend of our family's had, like a ministry license, whatever. They married us. Notary, whatever. They married us. Had a few friends. Their friends, my friends came over. Out of pocket cost, a few $100. I'm not going to do one of these stupid $15,000, $20,000 weddings. It's my wedding and I want to remember it forever. Some of these women out there. And I want a $10,000 diamond ring. Honey, we live on a shoestring budget. What? Honey, do you want a house more than you want a lavish wedding? Which one, toss one up in the air. Be honest with you, there's no tossing. We need a freaking house. We need to start our life. The wedding, let's go cheap. Let's go a little lower. Where was I? Whenever I emailed people the link, I would explain this isn't fake. This is real. Miss Rademacher said. Now, some of her friends are interested in following suit. it just worked out so well, she said, that people were like, no way, I want that. A millennial thinking like that? This story is fake. A millennial thinking like that? Yeah, get out of here. No way. They were like, no way, I want that. Yeah, free money? No way, I want that. Socialism? No way, I want that. Well, this isn't exactly socialism, but you get the point. It's the millennials who back that movement in a heartbeat. One startup lender called Loftium will supply $50,000 for a down payment on the condition that the home buyer agrees to rent out a room as an Airbnb. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. That makes more sense than begging and asking people, can we have a down payment? I don't have any savings. At least with that, the Airbnb side of it is that company's going to get their money back. The bad side of that is, we just bought an effing house for my family. I don't want a damn stranger coming in here constantly, or strangers coming in constantly. And you get some jabronis, of course. And what are the terms and conditions with the Airbnb? Do I have to like make them breakfast? Do I have to do? And you know, this the Airbnb thing. I woke up and my effing TV was missing and my laptop's gone. And the guy that was running it, he's gone too. Like, can you see where this goes? So, anyways, Eric and Rafaela considered applying for an FHA loan to buy a home in Seattle. Oh, well, there's your problem. Get the hell out of Seattle. It's too expensive. But were put off by the mortgage insurance and other costs. Yeah, the other cost being it's too freaking expensive. They instead got $28,000 from Loftium, the startup that offers funding in exchange for a cut of the Airbnb income. The couple have pledged to rent out their mother-in-law suite for 3 years. Now that, see, in a case like that, it might not be bad if it's like a detached mother-in-law suite on the property. Now this might make sense. But renting a room in my house, no. If you don't have the down payment, it's a great way to start, said Miss De Los Reyes, a 29-year-old flight attendant. She and Mr. De Los Reyes have never been Airbnb hosts before, so they were apprehensive. But as for their guests, she says, well, we barely see them. If you're willing to kind of sacrifice and generate this extra income, then you should be able to have this leg up in home ownership. How about we earn a living wage to where we can buy our own house and not have to come up with crafty, sneaky, stealthily ideas because everything's so effing expensive and the Federal Reserve has intervened in everything to where nothing can crash, nothing can come back down to the freaking, equilibrium. It has to stay high. And everyone that's not in a house, you're going to struggle now because the prices keep going and there'll be more intervention and they'll keep going until nobody can afford to even make the payments. Then we all just become Airbnbs just to make the payments. Perhaps these lenders have forgotten the most enduring lesson from the financial crisis. When borrowers don't have skin in the game, i.e. paying with their, they're playing with other people's money, they're much more likely to walk away when home prices fall. I have nothing in this. I'm leaving. Prices are crashing. I don't want to keep paying for this turd. Now they're coming. The prices are getting where I can afford them. I'm walking from this turd. Go get something else. Of course, they're going to have to get something else first because you can't walk and then go get a home. But if you have the income or the savings potentially to put a down payment on a new home before you leave that old home, you might be in business. But then again, the issue becomes, do you actually have that much income to where you can keep this house that you think sucks, you can't pay anymore, and get qualified for another house? Fat chance. But maybe we can go rent. Prices are falling, we'll go rent somewhere for a little while. Then you're going to have a foreclosure on your record. These aren't the only options for young people. As we've previously pointed out, Freddie Mac recently revised, I think I covered this, its 3% down mortgage program to eliminate pesky income restrictions and geographic restrictions, allowing a new wave of income-challenged Americans, hint, hint, millennials too, to rush into already hot housing markets. The Federal Housing Administration has a similar 3% down payment program. Then again, while some people are turned off entirely by the GoFundMe concept, The idea isn't so hard to rationalize. Why shouldn't boomers pitch in a little bit and help millennials make their down payments? After all, they're the ones who wrecked the economy and housing markets, right? Or was it the banks? The banks who did this to all of us with our pesky Congress critters who allowed the deregulation to occur and make it easy for people with no jobs to get a house, and then crashed it on everybody because they couldn't make their payments. And those of us who were doing the right thing got our house prices destroyed. And then we find ourselves in a peculiar position. Do I wait 10, 12, whatever years for this thing to recover? I'm stuck in this house. In our case, it was a starter home. We got started, got a family, three kids. We can't stay in this house for too much longer. I'm going to be married to this house? No, hell no. I didn't cause this problem. I'm going to fight this. And I fought it. And Snippy technically won. And now we're in a new house when technically I should, well, I say new 8-9 months ago, when in fact I shouldn't even have been able to get this house. That's why you got to fight for your right to party. Take care.